This is the side garden. Some lilies over here on the side. We have some inland sea oats, some shrimp plant, and beyond them we have cast iron plant. None of these receive any supplemental water and are all growing under oak trees. Over here we have some Confederate jasmine and some irises. And then over here I have an area where not much is growing, and it's by my son's greenhouse. Down here we have some hummingbird plant or flame acanthus. Also planted some rosemary to go along with the grapevines growing on either side of this trellis. So there is a red wine grape on the left and a white grape on the right, both supposedly suited for Central Texas. There's new plantings in this area. This is a new bed that was sheet mulched earlier this year. We have some baby irises that are put in right here. Then over here we have some agarita plant right there that receives sun most of the time. Over here we have gray water that drains from the washing machine, so it's gotten a little bit wild this year, but you can see the Mexican mint marigold is growing now. The banana plants in the background have gotten quite tall. You can see in November that the lantana for the year has really deceased. It's starting to die. You can see the Mexican grass growing along the pathway. And then back here by the loquat trees, the pink lemonade lantana is having the last of its blooms. Over here we have a Texas persimmon tree, and growing beneath it we have some autumn sage. We also have some anise hyssop. I'm going to get more of that to fill in this entire area because the bee balm never bloomed this year. You can see the Henry Duelberg salvia is still blooming just a little bit. More Mexican mint marigold. Beyond the autumn sage, there is, oh goodness, what's the name of that plant? I can't remember. Gold something or other, golden leaf skeletoni, something like that, I believe. We have a desert willow, spineless cactus. This is a new bed right here. There is a Mexican fire bush planted right here, really tiny because the chickens dug it up a few times. So you can see all the things around it that I've used to attempt to protect it with. You can also see the moringa plants that have also dropped their leaves for the year. I plan to heavily mulch those to help them survive the winter. And we also have a miniature pomegranate, and it has these really cute little fruits on it. These are purple and white irises. We have our thralysis, which is still blooming a little bit. Also still having all of its leaves is the Mexican honeysuckle, which grows mostly in the shade of these large hackberry trees. And this side, the purple lantana is still blooming, and behind it we have some iris. In the back you can see that there's some chili piquin that's got red berries right now, and some in the way back I just planted some cast iron plants that I hope will fill in some of that area. This area you can see we've attempted all kinds of things to discourage the chickens from scratching, but hopefully this fall we will have, next fall we'll have some plants growing in here. Currently we have our blackberry bushes growing in all 3 garden beds, and this garden bed most recently, come in here, we have mushrooms that are coming up. So if you look closely, you'll be able to see that we have a number of mushrooms that are coming up. So we're hoping to convert this. And then also we have, believe it or not, still blooming is our Malabar spinach. This is after we've had a couple of freezes. On the fence is Queen's Coral Reef, and that is done blooming for the year but has not dropped its leaves yet. Quite a bit of our garden is shade. You'll notice back over here we have quite a few Turk's Cap, and then we have American Beautyberry. We have more cast iron plant. In the back, we have some Caroline jessamine, which blooms in the spring. Behind it, we used to have an invasive plant, can't remember the name, ligustrum, and I replaced it with elderberry this year. So there's some very small elderberry trees in there that you can see. Down here we have more beautyberry and a little bit of shrimp plant. The shrimp plant still has some blooms on it as well. More irises. Coming over to the front yard, we have our fig trees. There's one here, and then this one was started from a clipping about 5 years ago. I started with a little branch and did an air layering off of another tree, and now it's probably 9 feet tall. And then we always have a perpetual pile of mulch from chip drop. Whenever it gets to be about this size, I put in another order, and we've probably laid close to 100 yards of mulch from chip drop. Here, but beyond the irises, we have Mexican Ruellia, the short growing kind, the dwarf kind. We also have this forsythia sage, which is just beautiful in the fall. And again, these are all growing under the hackberry trees. Coming up is heartleaf skullcap that will fill in very shortly here. And we have some yucca plants. We have a squid agave in the plant. Moving along, lots of irises. You can see that they grow really well here. And then this area is under construction. We've got some yarrow growing, and then this is a beautiful plant. This is Gulf Muhly. Thank you.
I hear it.
Okay, good. You can take it. We have more red yucca growing here. And then this area right here, we've been trying to grow several different things in it. I think I have Calliophis here right now. It's a yellow flowering plant, but it even seems to be a bit too dry for that. Coming to the front yard, as you can see, we have I can't remember the name of this tree. Some kind of holly tree, I can't remember. And then we have the Texas fall aster. We usually have some zinnias growing in this front little section here, and then we have Anacacho orchid tree here, and this whole section here is more flame acanthus, and then it's usually bordered by the zinnias. We have the catmint, which is looking just a little bit beat up currently, and then this whole bed I just dug up to dig out these canna lilies, which had really overtaken the bed, and so I dug them all out and spread out the irises again. You can see that some plants have died back for the year. I'm trying to take out the canna lilies so that this gray mountain laurel plant can have more room and thrive. And then back here we have a couple more loquat trees that were taken down to the ground in the freeze in 2021, and they seem to be coming back quite well. Thank you for touring my garden.